Well, I wouldn't say favorite Jakiro 5 player. He's kind of just the only one, so I guess that makes him the favorite. And it will be Marine Batrider mid. This is probably the player to watch here. If you look at the lineup from Pigzs, they would have some real big difficulties dealing with a fast bots blink up on the bat. And again, just point to, as the game continues, specifically in the mid game, Pigzs will start to pull away. They have so much natural sustain and tankiness and durability on these heroes that CreepWave's lineup just will fall flat in time if they're able to get, the pipe, the Greaves, and enough sustain.
Man, I for one am so glad that they ended up actually nerfing Batrider. Were you playing a lot of Dota when it was the time when you could just stack those ancients?
No, the answer was no. If you're talking about code.
Well, you can stack the ancients and then you put your sticky napalm down, and it's so much damage to the neutral creeps that you could get the bots and the blink like so fast. It was insane. Go with the verse. Given split starting right off.
Watch your
I like how they
leaped out the Amar the Fellas, the name there too.
I mean, why couldn't they, if we're gonna censor the name, why don't we just change the name?
I don't know. Maybe we don't have the technology.
I guess.
Are you guys a fan of numbers?
Love numbers.
I can give you some numbers here for CreepWave.
Give me them numbers.
Those numbers are 4, 32, and 124.
Wins, losses, and draws?
No, Kyle, this is an entirely new team. You think they played 124 matches?
I don't know, man. I've been gone for a while.
No, that is the ranking. Chrysalis is number 4 right now on the European leaderboard.
Wow.
Amar is 32, and Malrine, our mid player for CreepWave, is rank 124.
I believe Amar is 15, not 32. Thank you.
Yeah, that's true.
I just checked it today. So.
No, I meant for years old.
Oh.
Sorry, Cap. Couldn't resist.
I was like, what?
I will say, I mean, you even heard LeBron talking about in the interview about how CreepWave were full of some very skilled players. This draft is playing to those strengths because it's all about kills and constantly playing aggressively on map, whereas Pigzs, can be a lot more controlled. And I know I've brought this up a few times, but it's really just that mid game. I want to see CreepWave with not just hero kill advantage, they have to somehow translate that into towers. And they have no natural way of pressuring buildings. Pigzs, you just follow Jakiro's Arcseer, and it becomes very simple. So be curious to see how they execute moves, not just for slays, but for objectives.
That's always a big thing, too, with a lot of the Tier 2 teams, is that they might be very scrappy and they might get a really good advantage early on, but then they kind of fall off because they stop taking objectives, or they just don't know how to close out games. I've seen that happen so many times in every region.
I was looking at this Batrider, and I thought it was going to be offlane because we already had the Lina. And I know that matchup is not something that Batrider feels super good about.
No, exactly. It's always a bit odd. Like, as soon as you see the Lina, you've got to assume it's going offlane, considering that, wouldn't have minded playing against either support.
I think he's all right here.
What did Sand King, did Amar go for the E build? I like that a lot. That's his concern about picking Riki into the Sand King. Later on in the game, it's a great matchup, but now you just can't really have a trade effectively after the changes to Caustic, because if he just smacks a couple of creeps, you're at risk to being double stunned under the creep wave, and suddenly you're just dead.
Those are some very flashy wings over there on the Jakiro, too. Very distracting.
Yeah, finally got a cosmetic, and
It's got some nice buffs there with that Egg Shard too, so. I'll be interested to watch Amar here. I know he's very, very aggressive, usually not until he picks up that ultimate. I've seen him play so much Mars over a lot of his games, and he tends to be one of those players that as soon as the ultimate's up, all of a sudden, guess who's in your lane? It's Amar. He's looking to fight, but the problem with that tends to be, like, people have realized that about him now. So the second they seem to be like, oh, he's going to ult, everybody just get out.
So you can see what Amar did right there. He's a little low, so he can't play too aggressive, but by smacking those creeps, you get in a really tough spot as this Riki, because if you catch a stun, the Caustic then pops, does the AoE damage. Now it will kill the full HP creep that's also Caustic, and suddenly you are just dead. Like, it is an absurd amount of damage. You might be waiting for level 4, but yeah, to your point, Cap, it's 28-5 versus an 11-0 Batrider. Like, this is a matchup they knew they were getting, and it's going this poorly, but I mean, this is kind of what you expect. And the double Sobi Mask also is very odd in this kind of matchup. Like, this isn't really a regen war. He's going to outpush you very easily. He's not even used Firefly yet.
A little bit of aggression going down here in the bottom lane, but I think they're just poking a bit. Nice stun over there onto LeBron. I'm wondering, is anybody stacking for Bat too? Because that will make a big difference as well, if they're able to get any of that up. Mitch in the top lane, though, gonna have to surge away. They throw out the daggers. Hasn't done a little bit, but looks like he's gonna be just fine. It's gonna take a lot of damage, though.
I'm so happy I'm sitting here and not in Fishman's spot, because playing Lich in this lane in this game is going to be very unpleasant. It's bad enough when you have to deal with like a Darkseer clock. You know, you're not even necessarily threatened by the hook shot. It's just a surge. Plus there's a Riki.
Not a lot of mana left. Just have a mango. Wow. On him here. It's back off.
The Clockwork doesn't really have any other role to play, right? Yeah, because that is part of the reason I think they did go for that Batrider mid. They wanted a mid that was unpressured by Clockwork's roaming shenanigans, especially since it's with the Darkseer, likes to solo. This Clock is looking at that mid lane going, I'm not killing that anytime soon. So he literally is only looking for Lich kills. That's all he's doing right now.
This mid lane is just a complete disaster, and Lina is your real answer to this PA. Don't even necessarily need the Axe, just the raw magic damage output throughout the mid game. You know, Crystallis, you can't just, you're gonna go for scaling items. In fact, I think you almost have to buy a Battle Fury. Like, there's no other option, because if you're not able to scale, this game might as well just be over.
I will say that the Batrider is making sure that he's stacking for himself. So he is trying, in fact, you can see Malrine right now is headed back over there. He's going to go do the same thing. He'll pull that camp and then throw out the...
Yeah, but this, you're giving free farm and tower damage to the Lina, and the other concern is no one else can come take this lane. Like, if you abandon top, then suddenly your PA is alone against two cores pressuring with Ion Shell, and if you leave bottom as Alex, like, Riki has an Orb of Corruption. Like, you just start smacking him all in the face with the Jakiro behind you. So the lanes are locked and going very well at the moment for Spider Pigs.
DNZ getting surged up here. It's a fast little robot. Mitch might be... I hope they decide to go for it. Just go pop those charges, just teleport out, knows that they don't have anything to go and pull him back, so they escape easily there.
I really want to see these guys play a bit more aggressive. You never want to be... when I see a Nyx and a Sand King both at near full mana, I figure something's going off here. Anytime Riki steps near creeps, they should be looking at double stun and pressure.
Well, that was the first stun. The second one, Batrider with the lasso is going to just go burn him down, and down goes a Rookie. So there's that aggression you were looking for, Kyle.
Thing is, mid lane, a lot of tower damage dealt, and again, still total free farm for Noob. And look at half damage already on the tower. They're going to lift aggro as well. A clock free to be here because Darkseer can self-sustain up top.
Getting another TP down though. Fishman joining in.
So much damage. They don't know what to do anymore.
Yeah, he kept the Siege Wagon alive by taking those tower shots. That was really good.
A nice ward placed behind tower as well to secure Noob. He's really only threatened if he's caught by surprise.
Bottom lane, though, Mar taking a lot of damage here. Do we have anything to get out? No, he's already used it. So he can go for the dive he wants it, plus the ice path. We'll be able to clean up. Top lane, looks like they used the wall here. Crystallis trying to hide over on the tree line. Does have his own illusion. He's going to have to dodge away, plus that Ion Shell. Just taking the tower damage, though, so it doesn't last for very long. And now Mitch, looks like Crystallis thinking, no, he's just going to go right back to farming.
Once this mid tower dies, Noob is free to just go straight for that PA. And with the Ring of Regen, Perseverance is not exactly ideal for your early game survivability. As we can see, Crystallis continues to just run away from Mitch. I am feeling it. I mean, I don't want to call this one over by any means. It's a 1K gold advantage, but, you know, CreepWave have got to make some pretty significant moves over the next 8 minutes to secure a foothold into this game, or they're just going to slowly lose the resource war. I believe stats from last patch where the team that got first mid tower had an 80% win rate.
Oh, wow. That Impale coming out, knock back here. Nice LSA though coming out from Noob. Does get stunned up and he's just gonna burn down here. Nice ice path though coming out from LeBron. Will keep him alive with a good slow. Marlon needs to be careful. He needs to run away because he's just taking down all this damage. They don't have the last hit though, as he's got his bottle. He's just gonna work through it as Alex gets a couple of love taps off over here onto LeBron. The bounce back. Noob having to be a little bit careful. The ice path though coming in hot. Plus the rockets are just not enough damage though to take down this Batrider.
What is happening? They're just scrapping. Oh, I love Dota 2. nobody dies, but plenty of spells were utilized. Riki free farming in the bottom in the meantime. He's going to go for the Battle Fury as well.
Immediately canceling out that salve. He's channeling up the epi, but decides not to. Got the dust.
Yes, you can.
He's gonna go back in again. Ricky, though, just walks away. So that's the first epicenter that we've seen, and it does nothing.
I knew the moment he casted it, I was like, Kyle's gonna be so shocked.
I've played that hero twice. Like yesterday.
Well, now you know, Kyle.
Let me just say, playing with it is incredibly, because you naturally, you hear the epicenters, you think, I have to start the team fight because he's going to follow up. But now, like, people could just kind of, like, spam it, you know?
It's a very necessary quality of life change, to be honest, because that was, it was a 2-minute cooldown. If you, it was very frustrating. Why can't it just be instant like Echo Slam? No? Doesn't seem fair.
Smoke's gonna pop as they make the jump onto Crystalline. When Gonna Blade gets used, they need a little bit more damage. It doesn't look like they're gonna go for this Blondie because Fishman is here. We'll get up a couple pop shots from Noob. Mitch's running in. Crystallize looks like he's going to be able to TP out. Can they find Fishman, though? Yes, they will. So they'll end up getting themselves a support, but they'll protect their core.
Yeah, but can they protect their jungle? Look at all these stacks. And he's going to take Ancients anyway. I did see that note. This is not very effective anymore. You need a bunch of napalm for this to work out. And bots will still do rush. I do not see what CreepWave is looking to do with the way they've set up this game. This is very strange.
I think they're, at this point, they are entirely all in on the Nyx Sand King duo to be able to pull off any kills.
Yeah.
Their Batrider is going to take so long to be able to come online. Their PA obviously is out of the game for quite some time, so it's entirely going to be up to getting good Vendetta ganks and opening up the Sand King's damage, all that magic damage.
That stack, you gotta get that stack. Stack it again. Oh my god.
Now, they did get a lot of really yummy-looking neutral items out of that ancient stack, at least.
Silver linings.
Silver linings. You know me. I try to be very positive.
Easy. 1 kill thus far, but the gold lead has went from 1K to 4K over the last 3 minutes. And it's nothing to do with hero kills. It's about map control. Look at how aggressive Spider Pigs can play. Like, they're all on enemy side of the map. They can freely take a smoke. 4 wards placed by CreepWave just securing their own woods, and that won't even matter because the smoke kin's going to catch them off guard. Riki joining the team, bottom being pressured. They should know something's up.
Smoke will pop on Alex, who has been deaded. Looking for the hook shot, will connect over onto the Lich, like you said, Kyle. This poor little guy, he's just a melted ice cream cone here. Now jump over onto LeBron, but they're too afraid.
Like, who does anything? The bots on bat, like, they're all so squishy. Yours up already for Noob. I like the decision to rush that up because you really just need to make sure you don't die in a burst combo, and especially against the Nyx, if you catch him with Carapace and just yos him up, like, that's a dead Nyx, and nobody has to worry about anything. He's a Battle Fury though, 12 minutes in, good lord.
Yeah, they really needed these lanes to go better because they don't have any heroes to pressure these towers.
Yeah.
Sand King's really good at, like, lane pressure, but he doesn't actually take the opposing safe lane tower very well. So you really, it helps to have a mid that does that for you, but they've got a Batrider. Similar problems.
Yeah, and the SK, again, to your point, it's a great lane. It's one of the most feast or famine off lanes like that exists in Dota at the moment because you get a nice flame break. That's a free kill.
Look at how much damage the Batrider took from that, though. And look at this. He's not even done. He's thinking about going back in again. Has the hook shot, goes in, grabs the cogs up, has his hold over here onto Alex. And they have the dust, so they'll find themselves a kill. They threw out that Chain Frost, but nobody was there. They Delta split.
Yep. Amar is still bottom. He does get the tower.
Yeah. Okay, so I was going to point this out. He's pretty much been here uncontested for 3 minutes, and he only just now took the tower. Like, that goes to show, like, they were able to play so aggressively around that mid-tier, too, from the side of Spider Pigs, because they can leave the Sand King alone and know that they're not giving up that tower very easily, and as a result, they're not giving up the map control back over to CreepWave.
I will say, like, the PA's progression, like, his decision to straight up rush, greedy, like, Ring of Regen Battle Fury on the PA might be their saving grace, because even though they're behind, PA's farming speed will still be top in this game. So you give yourself this window where as long as you're not losing horribly around the map, you're going to get to a point where you'll have a window that PA is strongest on that, by far. And Lina, Jakiro, you are fodder for the 11K MMR hard carry. I'm just concerned. You have a blink on SK, so now now you just watch Amar. You just hold Crystal's hand. Find somebody with a stun. That should be enough, especially if you had Neppy on top.
Is it going to be enough to just lean completely on Crystallis, though?
I hope so. If you're a CreepWave fan.
It's the same thing, yes.
I think it's fine as long as you're able to keep your triangle. We saw like a lot of European teams be able to pull that off, the solo, like they're behind, but as long as they just keep farming the triangle with PA, eventually the PA gets too strong. But
the thing is, I don't like this smoke usage. They just need to...
There's the hook shot. Jump out though, plus just runs away. Nice chain pass gets throws out from Fishman. Follow it up though with a beautiful ice tap into the wall over on the other lane. So we're going to lose Alex. And now LeBron running for his life. There's a Laguna Blade getting thrown out as well. Followed up with that drag. And we also have an epicenter going on. Amar finding that kill. As we've got Ricky now trying to run away. He's ticking so very low, but they just don't have any way to grab him right now. I think he's going to make it out. Mitch, though, not so lucky.
That is such a strange fight to take. You see the blink on the Sand King. You're diving into a Lich. You're smoking in this position. You want to be placing wards. You've got one in the bottom half of the map. That's the area you're playing around. Smoking into unknown territory removes the advantage of your smoke, especially against invis threat like Nyx Assassin. It's just a very odd move here. I would have much preferred to see them get into enemy jungle, try to take out some of these sentries, but Fishman, even though he's playing a near impossible game, has done a great job. Look at all the sentries placed. There's no vision in that top dire triangle, which is what's giving them this opportunity, because Spider Pigs feel pressured knowing they're up against the Battle Fury, but that's just such a bad fight to take, and now, like, wow, I just, like,
the area where they're smoking through is, like, they're smoking through the mid lane, and they're on the low ground of this triangle. Like, I think if you use that smoke, you want to enter triangle on the right-hand side.
You go on with the only hero in this game, with the exception of PA, that can avoid the cogs. That's who you initiate on. And Melina is not there in position to get the follow-up stun. Now Noob finally shows up. They were saving the Arcane Rune bottom. He got distracted. But when your hard support Jakiro is the first one to cast spells on an enemy, you know your smoke gank's been misexecuted.
On the hunt again here. Gonna have that Battle Fury soon for the Ricky.
Felt like one of those moves that was just a bit redundant. You know, they already had good map control. They were already out farming the enemy.
It was the second one as well. Like we talked about, they were going up 1k gold per minute almost. Like that's how you wanted to keep playing. Keep Darkseer top jungle. Keep Lina mid controlling runes. You don't need to feel pressure to do too much. Yes, you're against a Nyx, but you know, accept the fact that someone might die, but you're going to get way more resources out of the map. By grouping up as 5, you've already put yourselves in a position where you need to have the kill advantage in a team fight to make it even, let alone worthwhile. Lose a fight, you've suddenly just chucked away your ad.
Oh, looks like they found the Ricky, but the follow-up with the hook shot from DNZ. It's a nice cogs off. Oh, that Rider's already freed. He's just dead. He can't do anything. The rest of his team's not there, although they do manage to get a kill over onto Fishman. Looks like Maureen is done with this fight, though. He's left the building, or rather the triangle. Noob still hunting. Only has Alex. It does have that Yules, though, like we talked about. No Spike Carapace just yet. Mitch joining in on the fight now. Try to chase after him. Spike Carapace, though. Is it going to be enough? Is he going to be able to get out? It looks like he is.
What a beast.
What happened there with Maureen? They popped a smoke onto the enemy carry. They just couldn't see him because no dust was going off.
You got it. Monkeys Forever is very upset because he preaches how important it is. Core players should be the one buying dust. Yes. You know, supports have to buy the wards, even though those are free now, legacy. But especially if you're that initiator, you've got to be the one to provide vision because it's your job to get the kill. It's your job to make sure you can do that. There's a Yules coming up on the Sand King. Would have probably preferred a Force Staff in this game, but it's better for scaling to have the mana regen. Haste Rune now. I love that actually. Skip the blink, go straight for BKB on bat. I think that's a great decision.
Well, he's not having any problems getting into these fights anyways. They're coming to him most of the time. Like there's no reason for him to have to grab it at this rate.
Yeah, it's the advantage of the PA lineup, and again, knowing that you only have to hold a small part of the map. That's why they can like use so much money of their team net worth on sentries and just play for the 2 wards that you're expected to see. One over here, and the other one just making sure your triangle's totally clear. Those are the only 2 warding spots you care about when you're this defensive.
And the thing about it is, Spider-Pigs, you have 0 to deal with BKBs right now, and you're going to hit a timing where both the PA and the Bat have one. Anybody they catch is dead. Preferably the Lina or the Riki. Either one would suffice.
And Crystallis just does not care.
It used to be a stun.
Long time ago.
Was it really a long time ago?
Feels like a long time ago, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's pretty.
It's happening.
That was long ago. I know, Kyle. It was just yesterday that you were competing.
Such a long time ago. Dust now on Amar, so we shouldn't have one of those issues. We're gonna. Can I fill in different like last bits of his name, like Amar the Revealer, when he?
I will allow it, but you can only use words that start with F.
Okay. Amar the man with foresight. That doesn't work.
No, that starts with an M.
Yeah. Amar the Freakazoid.
I still like Amar the Fella, personally.
Uncontested, right?
Get in there, guys. They're not going to get there.
There's no method of securing vision, but that is, I mean, that's a very aggro call. I don't think you'd expect that. The timing is nice because they do it right around the upcoming 20-minute bounties, and typically teams are going to be gathered up on their safer parts of the map, looking to make a move around the bounties, and they call it CreepWave mapping.
Man, look at Crystallis, the way he is farming. He just picked up his Deso, too.
Yeah.
This guy's a beast. I love it.
220 CS in 20 minutes.
Double damage.
I don't know what those graphs mean, but it's good.
Net worth. It says net worth at top.
You know why? It's because they're both blue color.
Yeah.
There's just one person is real blue and the other one's light blue.
I heard that double damage ring get picked up by Noob, so I guess he used it to his advantage.
Yeah.
Rest of the team looks like they are trying to run away. Fishman says no. Crystallis just going to go ahead, blink away.
Not like
Gets
this.
They're grouped up pretty tight, but not tight enough apparently, as they'll go and get another kill here on Alex. So just a little bit too out of position.
This is the danger trying to team fight, is that you need to get initiation as CreepWave to have any shot of winning the fight. Or, like we saw in mid, you need Spider-Pigs to initiate poorly and not really do anything. But now, especially with Riki having Aegis, that was kind of the target you wanted to take out at the start of a fight. Now it's going to be very difficult, and the damage output once you get that Battle Fury is nuts.
I think he's got his defusal headed out to him too now as well. Starting to become much scarier. Only about a 3K. Oh, that hook shot. Wildly off mark. The drag back here, coming out with that rider. It's looking like a dead kill. They're going to drop the wall though. And they'll just drop the wall. That's the end of the engagement.
Okay. That's the
They're going right back in again. It was a false back, I guess. Again, the rules coming out. Mitch taking so much damage here. They'll be able to go slice him up into ribbons. Noob's left. Oh, but beautiful. I was able to doesn't matter. Noob is already done. It's the ice back. It's looking really, really nice. And the cogs coming out. What's going to happen to the triple kills? For the Riki.
Shout out to the boy LeBron for that.
That was a 3-man Lina stun.
Yeah. But that was his only play. LeBron had the foresight to be able to make the early buyback.
That's true.
For that call. He did, and as a result.
That was synergy, my friends.
God, that was
Top tower is under attack.
Unexpected.
that was
Dyer's
I haven't seen a tag team combination like that since the last WWE Team Brawl. That was a 3-man LS with Lina stun. I don't believe we should ever say LSA. I'm not a believer in this acronym. 3-man ice path into a cloud and cogs.
You're just going to casually call out your fellow broadcasters there?
I don't know what you're LSA. I say LSA.
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
Try saying right striker A. We really, really
don't even know. It's just Lina stun.
No, that's worse because you're not actually using the name.
But
It's not even an acronym. Look at this. Look at this beautiful setup here. There's going to be the Yules. Mitch is hanging out in the middle. Gets stunned up. But when Lena comes down, watch this.
You just can't see
watch
this
that
coming.
light strike array into the ice path. You've got the clockwork here. Cogs them up. They've got the smoke down, and they just...
It's even worse in slow-mo. I mean,
Down they go.
Lena, up in the air. What could she possibly do when she lands back?
Yeah. No, I mean, I thought it was a brilliant display by CreepWave to show the strength, the newfound strength of Darkseer plus Riki.
True.
You know, the vacuum with this new Aghanim Scepter. They showed exactly how good it was without a vacuum. They were just like, let's just put 3 people all along the same area. And
I didn't mean to flame the... I actually didn't hear anyone say LSA. I just have this rule I keep myself, and I'm trying my best. It's the start of a long journey here.
we all have different rules, Kyle. My personal rule is that I say light strike array once in a broadcast, and then so people know at home, and then for the rest of the time it's LSA.
I can't say light strike array that fast without, like, stumbling over myself.
Yeah, it's not a... I thought just change the spell's name.
It's just
Like, I know it's an anime thing going back to, like, Dota 1, but, like, come on.
when you're in game, okay, Noob isn't saying, I've got LSA, I've got LSA. He's just saying, I can stun.
So that's the difference between, like, players and people on broadcast, though, too.
But it's you know, why do we have to dress everything up? It doesn't have to be so elegant. It's a stun. It's like
like
getting
the
punched in the face. You're like, oh, excuse me, sir, please don't hit me with that right cross uppercut combination. You just don't want to get hit in the face.
This is looking like a Nixus set. Nope, never mind. Heroes into ice. And your favorite, the Lena stun.
I'm going to just say, Kyle, I don't think that as broadcasters we should be following the examples of what pro players say in-game with their communications. I think that is a dangerous line.
Yeah, and it's not like we'll ever actually know what they're saying in game because we keep asking to get access to their comms, but they don't ever.
Some of the teams do, actually. They do hot mics.
Hot mics.
Yeah. Have you heard that? I know Beast Coast does that in South America. They'll do hot mics where they actually have their
team
comms.
does it.
That is dope.
Yeah, and there was one other team that actually started doing it too. I can't remember who it was. though.
That's a little different because it's the team organization saying, like, okay, this one's going to be our hot mic, you know, like, you're not getting the real...
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no one's crazy enough to release those, Cap. Let's be honest here. But
It's a bad PR move right there.
And just to point out, like, this mid tower for Spider Pigs is, yeah, it's literally... I was going to say untouched, but it's not literally untouched. It's 5 damage. But this is the concern. If you look at the net worth, it's PA versus the world. Bat and Sand King are both offlaners. You have 0 tower pressure. So your entire game plan right now is, okay, guys, let's find kills, but how? Especially when behind. You need this PA BKB, and then things get a little easier. But, yeah, there it is. So it's go time. But Crystals has to do it all himself. You need a lasso onto the Lina or the Riki. That hero has to die, and then you clean up the supports.
well, Crystals is getting stronger by the minute, that's for sure. And they do have a smoke on the lich, so perhaps they're looking to make plays. In fact, that's exactly what they're doing.
Look at the vision, though. Midwave is in the tier 3. This is a very bad time to make this sort of maneuver, assuming Spider Pigs are aware. You know, it appears they are, as they just hold hands up top. Lena in some danger, though. Fishman.
They're waffling a little bit, though.
This is a very odd... They're now a Delta split.
Yeah. Maybe they realized that, you know, their waves were getting pushed in, and they saw, like, a bunch of them in the top lane, and they figured that they should get there fast enough.
When you're behind, these smokes are so valuable. They're such a limited resource. I would have strongly preferred them to just not smoke. I think you're right. They recognized our lanes aren't in a position to make this work, but now you're out the smoke. You want to use these BKBs ASAP before they're able to pick them up themselves on the side of Spider Pigs.
Let's see, the Spider Pigs have taken up residence in the dire jungle here. Seeing a lot of mirroring going on. A couple of these neutral items getting picked up, though.
Level 20 now. Chris, did he get the shard yet on the clock? Because I think that's the critical timing, you know. You've got to get that jetpack up and running.
Looks like he's not interested in it either.
It's the same. It's like in the
Just get a force down.
look, think about the, you know,
But jetpacks!
you wouldn't even have been able to have episode 6, 7, and 8 of The Mandalorian wouldn't even have been able to happen if he weren't able
Don't
to get
spoil
the
things for the
jetpack.
people who haven't been able to see it
If you
yet.
haven't seen it, then, you know, well,
Maybe some people don't have Disney Plus in their country yet. They haven't
you
seen
don't
it.
need Disney Plus to watch The Mandalorian.
We're not advocating piracy here, Kyle.
Yeah, me neither. You just have to ask one of your friends.
There you go. I'm not sure that's better, but all right.
Yeah, Kyle went from piracy to social gatherings during a pandemic.
You can watch on Discord. You do
No, you
stream
can't
it.
actually. It's blocked.
What?
You can't watch Disney Plus on Discord, no? Or Netflix.
Okay, you can download it and play it in Windows
Now we're
Media
back to
Player.
piracy. Kyle, please.
It's not breaking the rules, it's just bending them. And if you're watching this, Bob Iger, I didn't say that.
All right, well, we are seeing some aggressive moves coming out here from the side of CreepWave.
You know what? I think they've got to play. They've got to mind their creep waves a little better when they make these aggressive maneuvers into the enemy jungle.
I hate that I laughed at that.
Yes.
Because they're just
don't
holding
encourage
it.
him, Moxie.
Sorry.
This is the strength of that mid-tier 1. They're just standing on it. What is Nyx Assassin supposed to do? They're just hugging it. Crystallis, he's just going in. This is the strat. Charge in, boys.
He's got the BKB too. Couple fights, it's all split up though. Bad Rider, Crystal's jumping in, they're following him. They'll be able to go, they get the kill over onto Fishman. Now Crystal's that's a bad one. Whoa, right over onto Mitch. He is just absolute toast. Ice Path being thrown out. We'll slow down the Nyx Assassin. Nuke trying to fight through. Has the lights. Oh my gosh, the Laguna Blade going through, absolutely shredding into pieces. Alex, he gets the stun off, but he is taken down himself.
What the?
Why was that so split?
Why? I watched. He dragged the Darkseer to the left.
Yes.
Yeah.
He dragged him away from his PA, and even worse, he dragged him onto terrain.
And great stun from Nuke though. I don't know how much of that was luck and how much was calculated. That stun hit about 1/10 of a second after the PA BKB faded.
What does Noob have for items? I think I saw, yeah, like very defensive
defensive.
items.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool. That's a good idea.
Ooh, Omar? What you doing there, buddy? Dying, apparently.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
That was some Dota 2 right there. Go throughout the Frost Shield, try to dissuade them a little bit from hitting these buildings, but of course, Noob can sit very, very far back here and just wail away on these racks.
The way the Sand King just gave away that gold, you could call him Amar the Philanthropist.
Thank you.
Omar the Feeder, yeah. Except that wasn't an F there, Sarah.
Yeah, but he makes an F sound. Come on, Mox, you gotta give that to me.
That was very clever. I enjoyed it. Alex also just getting murdered here.
It's an Ags up now as well. That is very strong. I played Riki the other day, and it was a lot of fun. We still lost, of course, but I blame Ollie.
You guys played a lot of Dota yesterday. I think I played 2 with you, and then you guys just kept on trucking.
You guys ready for the Roshan pop quiz?
Pop
quiz time! Pop quiz time! Kyle, what is Riki's shard?
Sleeping darts.
Hey, good job.
Very, very little. This is one of okay, here's the thing. I feel, because if you notice with Aghanim Scepters, right, there were a lot of history of Dota. Some heroes just didn't have them, because maybe you just didn't have a great idea. It felt like maybe there was some kind of crunch, you know? You look at, CD Projekt Red, you know, what the issues with Cyberpunk.
Oof.
Maybe they just, ISO was like, guys, we need a shard for every single hero. They came up with a bunch of good ideas, and then for others, like, you know, what about, like, just new abilities? Okay, Alchemist is a great example. Like, he has one potion already. We just, what about another potion? But this one's good. And it won't be channeled, right? Like, eh.
Yeah, he just blinks into the smoke screen. Ugh.
And we got a slow motion.
Yeah, I like how
He's
we
only
fully
15.
shamed him there, guys. Come on now.
He's bullying.
Radiant's bottom
Feels like
Amar
I'm
the
back in my Dota
15-year-old.
class again.
Leave him alone. That's bullying in schools.
Yeah, the Lotus Orb now on the Darkseer. It's just full defensive items, so it's... wait,
Radiant's
Amar?
bottom tower
Did he just-
is under
Oh,
attack.
you can
playing.
cancel
He's
it.
playing.
He's just,
God damn it.
he's just playing around.
That's gonna drive me nuts.
I mean, I think that's fair because decade plus of Dota has taught you when you hear that sound, the big boom is coming. You know.
Well, we rely on sound. Dota has such great sound cues,
Yeah, it
right? I
does.
know as a play-by-play caster, I really listen very hard on that
What
stuff.
I love is, well, they're all stock too. So I can't remember. I was watching some vampire
stock?
series
Yes.
on Netflix,
I didn't know that.
and I heard Bloodseeker Rupture and Ursa Enrage.
That's
Yes.
awesome.
Same episode.
I had no idea.
The nature sounds
Yeah.
of Dota you're gonna hear
Yeah,
a lot.
there was a
the
really-
wolves, all that sort of thing.
It's a really bad B-tier sci-fi movie that was just Ursa sounds. I wasn't scared at all.
That's awesome. I want to find this movie now.
The funniest is if you ever watch, I think it's Cujo by Stephen King. It's a good book, but the movie is just this very friendly Saint Bernard.
No, it's is it a Saint Bernard? I thought it was a Rottweiler.
No, it's Saint Bernard.
Oh.
So it's a very lovable dog, but you know, it's like licking the window, and then you just think, grrr, and it's like this isn't believable at all.
Nice. Uh-oh, hook shot in, forward step forward, cogged up, but in goes Crystal. He says he doesn't care about those cogs. BKB comes out, he's looking for DNC, but he has to be careful. There's so much damage coming out here from Noob. He's gonna have to try to run away. Chain Frost gets thrown out, doesn't do anything. As now over on the back end here, Amar, oh, there's just so much damage. I don't think he's gonna be able to survive it, but Crystal jumps in, there's gonna be a Laguna. And again, Ricky coming in to clean it up. Another flare forward. You can see they're trying to grab anyone else that they can. In fact, there's the jump forward from Ricky. Almost manages to go and get the kill onto Alex. Doesn't look like he's gonna be able to fish man. Oh, the lasso. Hold them right together here. Marine wants to go and do anything as there's just Firefly everywhere. But the does tricks the trade, purges it up, still taking a lot of damage. Down goes the Ricky. That is the Aegis. First life down. Mark gets taken down by Noob. 3 down, and they're looking like they might want to just finish it. Alex, he wants to get out. He cannot. GG gets called.
Yeah, it's just no damage. They tried, like the full big AV from Crystal. He had to back off during it because there's just no hope, no chance at all. Yeah, Cap there. Well, good to join us. He was, you know, no, you saw him just sitting over there on his phone the entire game.
I know, yeah.
He would just tune in once in a while.
He was doing some selfies with the Snapchat filter, too. I was seeing that.
I'll have you know, my note.